Hi guys, my name is Borrodante. Feeling much better today. Also got my new lights, as you can see on my face. Maybe, I don't know, does it look different? Let's overpaint. So today's patient is Quentin Lechat. I remember Quentin. He submitted a drawing of a half of the body that we turned into a giant crawling out of the cave. That was interesting. So this time again, Quentin has quite an unusual thing going on with the body. Hi Borro, one more pick for your overpaint collection. I'm quite happy with it, but I feel some things are wrong, like the shirt or the legs. Maybe too twisted or not enough. I can't fix it though. Could you help me please? Well, we'll give it a try. Oh my. So Quentin sent a PSD file, and I have like layers here. We'll try to use it for good. Oh, also a reference. Okay. So one thing, as usual, we start with the composition. One thing I can say is that for a photograph, this kind of setup is pretty good. But for a painting, like I feel like there's too much space for the background that doesn't really have any dedication to it. Like it's just blurry nothingness. So maybe we reposition something to change that. Aside from that, by the way, it's really cool. I can see how there's work with the lighting done. It's not perfect, like in details, certain things wouldn't go that way in shading, in shadowing, but it is really close. Okay, so let's try to search something with the composition. I don't even know what I'm gonna do, but I will search. So I moved the guy a lot closer to his pants, to his legs, than he used to be, and I cropped the image around, leaving less negative space around the character. Because the image should feel really dynamic, and when you have a lot of, negative space around, like the classic painting has, it kinda breaks the whole action aspect of it, because you're like too far away from it. That's why all action scenes in movies, they're always like super close and like, stressful setup. Yeah. I know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, now I started a little bit playing with the background, removed super sharp edge because it was really distracting, and it's like, where is this edge? Since the whole background is blurred, why is the edge so sharp? So that's one thing. I'll continue working more on the background, maybe add something in here, some kind of tree that would just, entertain the eye. Also, we're gonna need to add some dark shadows close to the feet and just everywhere. It's a bit too washed out, like there's no dark shadows at all in the background, which is kind of odd. That's why the character is breaking out of the background too much. This guy didn't have that problem. You see, his feet are even blending with this little road thing or something in the back. Another thing is that this foot is kind of lower than this foot on the trajectory of the direction of where the guy is moving. So he's kind of like crossing his legs, which is dangerous. He shouldn't do that. So we're gonna push the legs in more of an appropriate position, and it will feel a lot more three-dimensional, because right now I can see that legs are basically running horizontally in a flat composition separately, and the background kind of implies that this is a three-dimensional look at an angle. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have to rotate the legs a little bit. I don't think it's that hard. Plus, we'll get to play with what the hell is going on inside of the belt, which is probably gonna be not as fun as I think it is right now. Do we actually do the meat? Probably so. It's not just empty pants, right? Also, the guy is blue. I like that. I don't know what else to say. So yeah, let's work a little bit on this three-dimensional aspect. Maybe implement the character a bit more into the background, meaning adding darker shadows for the background. And then we'll work on the lighting of the character more fundamentally. Borrow render style. So yeah, let's start fixing the things. I also want to add a little bit more to this in a sense that this picture is actually a lot of fun, but it's too empty because there was no thinking about it as an illustration. We need to add an extra something that would just make it look entertaining. And that's like, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it feels like it needs something interesting. Let's just go ahead. Okay, so I started adding some sort of trees in the back. They look kind of okay, but at the same time I added the blue sky color while keeping everything else black and white. I don't know why I did that, but I kind of like it. I don't know why. So yeah, I rotated the pants and added some meat. Now we're gonna go through the whole character and probably the background as well and add some more of the physical rendering. But that one thing that I wanted to add, something fun, is I want to add blood. But not just actually real blood, but I want to make this picture a bit cartoonish, a bit more as it should be. Like the character is looking quite funny and I don't know, everything it just kind of like asks for making blood, like with the huge blobby drops that just stream out of the cut like that. So there are gonna be like big, soft, blobby drops of blood. And from here there may be some of the breakfast falling out because the guy is rushing to his work so fast that he's losing his breakfast. Something like that. That's the idea. Now let's just make it happen. Okay, so the blood looks like a lot of fun to me. I'm thinking it was a good idea to replace the whole realistic meat with just this red blood, since, I don't know, the scale of the drops imply that, I suppose. Plus, it's just better for the story, I guess. Now, falling out of the torso, let's add like, it should look kind of close to this thing. So, a soft-looking toast with like peanut butter jelly on it, and a few eggs separate, each egg fried on the pan, so all around with the egg yolk in the middle. What else can it be? A coffee with the drops of coffee. Actual cup? Yeah, why not? He drank the cup. So let's do that, and also add more, as usual, more dynamics to the physics of the clothing. In here, in the tie, add some waves maybe. And also, the shadow is really far away from the tie, implying that it's like at a distance. But since there's such a huge speed that he's running at, it should be really pressed to the chest. So we need to paint the shadow really close to the tie to make it look like it's actually pressed by the wind. So let's do that. Let's maybe make, I think the hands should be a bit bigger, because right now we're kind of at the Trump scale. Political humor, how do you like that? And maybe make the feet a bit smaller. Like, it is funny and all, but I feel like it would look better. At least I think this one should be a bit shorter, because this one is shorter than this one. I don't know, something's not good enough here for me, for my eye. Okay, I think we're almost done here. This is a lot of fun. Kinda weird for the overpaint episode, of course, since I'm adding more than I'm fixing, but it really felt super empty and kinda like asking for something like this. So yeah, I'm basically done with adding any details. Let's go over everything and make it work better with the shadows and whatnot. Okay, I'm done here. I think it's a lot of fun. As I'm looking at the whole thing all together, I feel like I need even darker shadows somewhere on the background, at least on the floor in the foreground, because it kind of feels weird. Well, in general, the background is kind of weird. Maybe it would be best to change it more, but not gonna happen today. Okay, cool. Thank you, Quentin, for your submission. I hope you like what I did to it. If any of you guys want to submit your own artwork, you can do that on my Patreon page. The link is in the end of the video. I love the way I rotated this foot by just adding light spots of the reflected light and dust and something at the bottom, and it made it just rotate visually. That's all I did. Just like this, basically. Can never get too much accurate shadows. There we go. So yeah, this is it. And I thank you for watching if you did. I guess you did if you're here. Leave a like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Run in one piece. Do whatever you want. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. My favorite part is here. Food is always my favorite part.